Hello all, welcome to Shaving with Peg Leg. Sorry I'm so late today. It's 9 p.m. here. Nope, I guess it's just my eyes. I thought it was a little foggy for my shower. Busy today. I just been doing little odd jobs of BS. Decided I'm going to cool myself down with a little Godrej is what it is. It's G-O-O-R-E-Y. Godrej. Synthol shaving cream, cool menthol. Oh, I was going to use something different, and I was like, no. I've been hot all day doing shit. We're going to use the Gillette Skin Guard. Now this is only a two-bladed monster, but it has a trimming blade on top. I believe this is the one that did. Yes. You hold it like this to define edges. I'm not going to use that today because frankly I don't need to. I have no edges to define. I am rounded in more ways than one. Alright, let's get on with this shave. I need to get it over and done with so I can get out of this hot bathroom. Pears glycerin soap. This is the bath soap, just a body soap, but it's a glycerin soap, so it works very, very well as a pre-shave. And it's cheap. It's like $3 a bar, $3.50, something like that. For a brush, I'm using the 26mm PAA Atomic Rocket. It did that. I don't want to put my shaving cream in that hole. Oops. I'd rather put it on the floor like I just did. It's okay. That's alright. The carpet can use to be cleaned anyways. It needs to be cleaned anyways. Can use a good cleaning. That's what I'm trying to say. Somewhere in my jumbled English language. Just, you have one of those days that didn't start off this way, but it kind of progressed. Should have stayed in bed. Between family members and residents of the park. Well, I had an incident today. I wasn't really going to talk about it, but what the hell, why not? It affects me, but it doesn't. With the grain. Back to front is with the grain. Woman was, I took my dog outside, and I have a chain attached to my house, and I stand in the door, the side door to the porch, near where the chain is anchored, and I hold it in my hands. My dog goes out and does her business. Now the chain's only long enough for my dog to get her snout to the sidewalk. She actually can't get her head over the sidewalk, but it's like the edge of the sidewalk and her snout are pretty much lined up. So that's as far as she can go. She never leaves the yard. She's always on, when she goes outside, she's always on that chain. Because For one, I got no legs. I can't walk her. She'll pull me over. And I've had the dog since before I lost my legs, so I'm not getting rid of the dog. Anyways, my dog's in her yard doing her business. She's actually in the process. Okay, let me background. Whenever I let my dog out, I always look up the street, down the street, make sure nobody's coming on a golf cart, nobody's out walking their dog, riding their bicycle, anything when I let my dog out. I wait for all that to end, pass by the house, whatever, before I let my dog out. Because my dog does not like golf carts, she does not like those little motorized scooters that the handicapped people ride in, and she does not like bicycles. Well, anyway, she barks at them. And if somebody's walking their dog, God forbid, she'll go ape shit. So I don't deal with any of that. Sorry. I wait for it all to pass by and then I'll let my dog out. So anyways, I look both ways. Nothing's coming. Nothing around. It's clear. Coast is clear. Let my dog out. She goes out. She pees. And then she's sniffing around on the grass like dogs do, looking for the perfect place to poop, which their nose always finds, but they never scoot up so their butt will hit the perfect spot to poop. They always sniff the perfect spot to poop, but they never poop on the perfect spot to poop. Have you ever noticed that? Okay, anyways. So, while she's sniffing around looking for a place to poop, and she just squats to start taking a poop, this woman had come around the corner walking her itty-bitty ankle biter. Now my dog is yay tall. She's knee high if you have legs up to the knees. She's knee high. And she weighs 65 pounds. And she's half Doberman. And half, the vet says she's half Border Collie. Whatever. But you can tell by looking at her, she's half Doberman. Her markings are 100% Doberman, the brown and black. So anyways, this woman comes walking around the corner on her dog on one of those retractable leashes that you can keep the dog real close, or you can let the dog run out 12 or 15 feet in front of you. Well, she's got this little mutt on full extension on this thing, running way out in front of her. Well, this little dog gets close enough to see my dog, but it's got slack in the line. It hasn't run its leash completely out. It's got slack. Sees my dog. There's kind of a bush. My neighbor has a bush in their yard and it kind of hides it. Sees my dog. Comes bolting into my yard at the end of its leash, but just kind of close to my dog, but not. The leash, its leash stopped it short from getting to my dog. Well, it's barking and growling and snarling across the green at my dog. Well, my dog stops taking her dump and says, "Ooh, chew toy." Damn near yanks me out into the driveway and onto my face, pulling on the chain, and gets the dog. But the dog is in my yard, up into my yard, because a woman's walking close to she's in the street, but she's right next to the sidewalk, and she keeps walking closer, even though her dog's in my yard, doesn't try to pull her dog out of the yard or anything. She just keeps walking, and the dog keeps getting closer to my dog. Well, my dog says, "I'm gonna get it," and takes off after her dog. Well, this dog thought he was Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, and he found out he was just some drunk a-hole on a plane screwing with Mike Tyson and got its ass kicked. My dog grabbed a hold of that dog across its back, mouth on either side, picked it up, and shook the living bejesus out of it like it was in a blender, like it was a milkshake. And it flipped it. Well, at that point, she's screaming, and she's trying to pull her dog in. It's like, these people are stupid. Dogs are not people. Dogs don't go, hey, nice to meet you. Dogs don't do that. Some may, not all. Most of the time, they're, let me sniff your ass and see if I want to bite it or not. So anyways, she's freaking screaming bloody murder. Her dog gets released by my dog. She yanks on the leash, and the dog goes flying out of my yard into the street. And she picks it up. No harm done. My dog didn't really do anything but pick it up and shake the shit out of it. And she's screaming at me. And I'm looking at her like, Karen, you better shut your mouth or I'm going to play Will Smith and you're going to be Chris Rock. Because I'm like, your dog came into my yard barking, growling, and snarling at my dog who was just taking a dump in her own yard. And your dog attacked my dog. And my dog said, screw it, you want to play games? Let's play games. And said, all right, time to get it. You know, it's like only so much I can do not having any legs. I braced myself as much as I could, but dog's strong. I mean, she's 65 pounds. She got a little bit of speed up, and boom, I went out into the freaking driveway, out the door. Almost fell on my face. I was just lucky enough to catch my balance. Okay, round 3. And she's cussing and screaming at me, and she picks up her dog and walks past my house a little bit, stops, gets on her phone. It's like, okay, she's calling the cops. Here we go. This ought to be fun. So, my neighbor across the street, who absolutely loves my dog, by the way. My dog loves people. Not so much other animals that are especially trying to get at it. She doesn't like being harassed. So my neighbor comes over and was like, I saw that whole thing. She said, is that woman stupid? I said, like most of them in this park? Yeah, she is. And about 10 minutes go by and a sheriff's deputy pulls up. Front to back, against the green. So the deputy gets out, talks to her. I can hear her say, his dog attacked my dog, blah, 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 blah. And finally the deputy comes over. My turn to get my side of the story. And my neighbor's standing there. And my neighbor puts her hand on my arm and says, shh, don't say anything. And the cop looks at her and she says, I'm going to tell you what happened because I was sitting across the street in my porch and saw this whole damn thing happen. And she explained what this woman did. And the cop asked her, deputy asked her, he said, so her dog ran onto his property to attack his dog while his dog was taking a poop. So she's like, yes. And the dog defended itself. Yes. Guess where her complaint went? Well, a lot of people here don't like my dog anyways because they have a 45-pound weight limit on dogs. But I know how to play legal games as well as anybody else. And I registered my dog as a service animal. Which she is, because you guys, if you've watched my channel for a while, you know I'm diabetic. And I used to, before I got my diabetes under control, I used to have convulsions at night. I used to have fits. My blood sugar would drop out the bottom, and I'd go into a fit. And my dog, before I would get into the fit, she'd wake me up. She's never been trained to do it, but she would wake me up. And I still have some, but I used to keep, I don't have any Hershey's Kisses, I got different stuff. I used to keep a bag of Hershey's Kisses on my headboard. So if that ever happened, I'd eat 2 or 3 of those to bring my sugar back up. Well, I don't have any more Hershey's Kisses because my mom ate the last of mine. Thanks, Mom. But I got other things there, but it's fine. Anyways, so but she used to wake me up until, like I said, until I got my diabetes under control. And she's registered as a service animal. Now, I don't ever take her grocery shopping and do all the stupid games that other people do with my dog. I'm going to take her on a plane. I'm going to take her into a restaurant. I'm going to take her shopping. I don't play that BS. That's a bunch of crap. If you can't go into the grocery store for 5 or 10 minutes without your dog, stay the home, okay? Seriously. You have more issues than a little bit. You don't need to be out in public. So anyways. And then the deputy asked me, is that what, yeah, that's what happened. I said, here's her shit right here. She was taking a dump. This dog come up, attack. I said, my dog never, and my neighbor said, his dog never leaves the property. I said, I've got no legs to walk her. She's too strong for me to walk. That's why she's chained to the house. I control the chain from the doorway, and I use the doorway to brace myself so when she does pull, I don't fall over. And the deputy's just like nodding his head, okay, okay, okay. So, you know, it's like, and this woman, yang, 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 she's on the sidewalk, yang, 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 yang. Well, I'm trying to talk to the deputy. The deputy's like, would you be quiet? You had your say, it's his turn. And she's, yang, yang, yang. It's like, shut up, Karen. I felt like saying, you know what, you can shoot her, please, thank you, good night. Anyways, she's yang, 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 yang. And he's like, okay, that's fine, that's all I need to know. So he goes back to his car, pulls out his ticket book, and he starts writing a citation. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, he's not gonna write something for me. And my neighbor's looking at me funny too, like, what's going on here? And he calls the Karen over to his car, and he starts asking her questions. She starts giving him answers. And when he's done, he hands her the citation for not keeping, I guess what I could hear was, I thought I heard her say, what do you mean not keeping my dog under control? My dog was on a leash. Well, there's being on a leash and there's being under control. Two totally separate things. Just a little bit here as normal. So anyways, she got a citation for not having her dog under control. I do not like those leashes at all. I've never liked those leashes. I've said that about those leashes since the first time I saw one. You do not have your dog under control when they're on one. They're too far away. And they're animals. I don't care how well your dog is trained, they will bolt. If they want to bolt, they're gone. They'll take off. They'll attack something even if you say not to. And these people, I see people walking their dogs without a leash around here all the time too. It's like there's a leash law in this county, in this town. And these people, I've seen this happen half a dozen times since I've been here. Even if the dog's on a leash, they'll be walking down the street towards each other. Instead of one person moving to the other side of the street and giving each other clear passage, they walk up to each other. And the dogs walk up to each other and start fighting. And then they get all upset with each other. Well, your dog attacked my dog. You hear it all the time. It's like, you're a dumbass. It's an animal. Animals are not humans. They don't walk up and say, hey, nice to meet you. They don't do that. If you think they do that, you don't deserve a pet. You're too freaking stupid. So anyways, she got a citation. I got a good laugh. My dog got the taste of a little ankle biter. My neighbor laughed her ass off. Because we talked about it after the deputy left. We talked about it for a good half hour, 40 minutes in the driveway. She's like, your dog shook the living piss out of that dog before she let it go. I said, I know. I said, that dog's going to be cross-eyed for the rest of its life. She literally did, like that dog was in a blender. That dog was, she was going at it. She shook the living snot out of that dog. And then she let go of it. It flew a good 7-8 feet in the air when she went and let go of it. So I shouldn't laugh, but I'm a badass. You know, I mean, it was hilarious. It's like, yeah, little guy syndrome. You know, the little guy that walks in the bar and thinks he's a tough ass, badass. He's going to find the biggest, baddest, meanest biker in the place and kick his ass, and ends up being used as driveway patch out in the parking lot. Yeah, that guy. That's what that dog was. not bad. Actually, not bad. That, I really, since this is for sensitive skin, I really didn't have much hope for this one. But this actually did really, really well. And if you need trimmings on an edge, it's got that edge on the backside, that edge blade. But that's actually pretty dang good. I just want to do a little bit right here. I gotta pull the skin tight. I didn't pull it tight enough, I don't think. Yeah, that got it. But yeah, that's pretty good, guys. I was surprised with that because of that being for sensitive skin and only being 2 blades, which I would prefer a 2 blade over the 5-headed monsters anyways, because we all know the 4th and 5th blades really don't do crap anyways, or the 6th blade or the 18th blade, they don't do squat anyways. It's the first 2 blades that will do the most damage. The first always does the most work. The 2nd blade will kick in some, but it's that first blade that does most of it. That's actually pretty good, guys. I'm kind of impressed with that. Okay. Alum block. So anyways, yeah, I had to deal with that. That took a good hour out in the driveway today. Nothing. Cold and wet. That's all I'm feeling. Cold and wet. I had nothing for the alum to work on. It was a nice, smooth shave. I had to use a couple of more recent references during that story, yes, because I don't know if you guys saw the story about Mike Tyson. He was on a flight. I think it was JetBlue. He was in first class, and some drunk guy got on the plane and kept screwing with him and hit him with a water bottle. And Mike Tyson stood up and pummeled him. You know, Tyson may be in his 50s, but he's still an ex-professional boxer, and if not the best boxer ever, one of the best boxers ever, simply because of his punching power. And I'm sure he hasn't lost a lot of that. And you keep screwing with a man to the point where he's going to get up and pummel you, you're a dumbass. Well, he was drunk, but still, which Hazel, when that liquid courage gets flowing, you got to be careful. This stuff, I get the most bare minimalist menthol you could ever get out of soap out of this. It says it's cool menthol. It's barely cool. Okay. Now my Liquid Vicks Vapor Rub, that's another flicking story. No, my nose is clear now. That stuff's potent. And my Johnson & Johnson baby lotion, because I got to keep my dome as soft as my brain, just that much. It's all I need. Rub it in there to pick up some scent from the aftershave, like I need any more freaking menthol on my head. But there we go. Put it on the arms so my arms can smell like menthol the rest of the day, or the rest of the night. Alright guys. Just my little doggy story for the night. I really shouldn't laugh, but that little dog was just, it was nuts. It was she really did shake the hell out of that dog. That dog's gonna have PSD. PTSD. The dog's gonna have PTSD. I said it right. I said PSD. PTSD. The dog's gonna have it. So, all right. We're done with the babbling fat guy. It's 25 minutes. Later, all. Appreciate you showing up. Done with the babbling fat guy in the camera. You're in the chair next, probably tomorrow at this point. All right. Take care, all. Happy shaves out there.